I know I'm probably going to get quite a bit of hate for this, but I was kind of bored. Do you know how insane that is for me to say? In a conference that had The Elder Scrolls 6, a brand new IP from Bethesda, Starfield, Fallout, a new Doom, I was bored. How did this happen? This seems so ridiculous and insane to me. And besides just being bored, I feel like I didn't really see many games, which was weird because there was actually quite a bit of gameplay at this conference. So why did I feel like I was being fed nothing? Now look, I know I sound a bit harsh, but it wasn't all bad. There was some good stuff in there, and we're going to talk about that. So I'm just going to run through my notes here about what was in the conference, and we'll go through it as they come. First thing I want to say, Pete Hines and Todd Howard. Say what you want about those guys, but they are fucking good speakers. These guys know how to talk to a crowd. And something that I noticed during this conference, which I couldn't quite put my finger on for a while, was why Todd Howard seems so familiar. And that's not because I know who Todd Howard is, that's not because I know how famous he is in the games industry. It's because Todd Howard is a cool Michael Scott. Okay, so to start the show, we got some Rage 2. And when they announced that Andrew WK was going to come out and perform, I was excited. I thought he was going to be in the background and we was going to see Rage 2 in its glory. But we just have to sit there and watch Andrew WK perform. Whilst this guy looks like a good performer, this guy looks like he's got the fucking devil in him. He's kind of scary. I think we got to something like 12 to 15 minutes into the conference and we hadn't even seen gameplay from anything yet, let alone Rage 2. When the music finished and the gameplay started, Rage 2 looks awesome, looks absolutely bonkers. You can definitely see the influences from id and Avalanche separately. The way that you move around environments and traverse, you're so agile. The way that you kill enemies with these new powers, it seems awesome. And the car combat from Mad Max looks like it's back in a big way and a revamped way. I'm super excited for this game. I just wish that they'd shown it off in a little bit of a better capacity. Despite the fact that it took so long to actually get some gameplay for Rage 2, it was really weirdly paced when they showed it. There was a lot of ups and downs of it. I would have rather seen one nice long mission, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, and we see the actual pacing of a mission. After this, we got Elder Scrolls Legends. Now, I don't give a fuck about card games, but if you love it, that's awesome, man. I'm super happy for you. You played the shit out of those card games. One thing I did notice from the trailer for Elder Scrolls Legends, though, is they got a lot of pretty women playing these card games. After that, we got a trailer for Elder Scrolls Online. Again, this isn't my thing, but I understand why people like it. It's got 11 million players in its player base, for fuck's sake. This is a big damn game. So there was a new expansion for that, and if you're excited for it, I'm real happy for you guys. Then, after this, we got some fucking huge news! Doom Eternal! The sequel is real, and I was right! I was fucking right, I told you! However, this only served as an announcement. We didn't see anything of the game, we didn't see any gameplay, we have no hint of what the game is like. The only thing that we've got to go on is the first Doom game. This is one of my biggest problems with the show. We didn't really see all that much from their games. Despite the lack of gameplay for Doom Eternal though, if anything, we got some fucking awesome music. God, this music's so good, I'm so pumped, I just want to vigorously masturbate. Then we got a bit from Quake Champions. Again, not my kind of game, understand why you'd love it though. Looks real fast paced, real fun. There's going to be a free-to-play trial next week, so look forward to that. After this, we got some news for Prey and its DLC. First off for Prey, we got a new update that brings 3 modes to the game total. We got Story Mode, New Game Plus, and now Survival Mode. But the big thing about Prey was the Moon Crash DLC, which is a randomly generated roguelike game that is different every time you play it. It seems completely different to the tone of the original Prey, but that's cool. I'm all up for devs trying to do something new with their IP after release. There was also another bit of DLC that was hinted at called Typhon Hunter. It's basically Prop Hunt, but for Prey. One thing about this whole Prey presentation though, made me cringe real fucking hard, like I wanted to just stick my ass inside of myself to get away from it all. Don't get me wrong, it's nice to see the devs talk about what they're passionate about. However, some people are paid to talk to audiences and some people are paid to make games. There is nothing wrong with fitting in either of those categories, it's just to know when to show them. Then we got some more for Wolfenstein 2 and its DLC. First off, Wolfenstein 2 is coming to Switch. Who would have guessed? And then they announced the actual DLC, which was Youngblood. In this expansion, you play as BJ's twin daughters, and it's set in 1980s Paris. And now you can play co-op with Wolfenstein 2 as well. Then we got to see Fallout 76, and I wasn't very excited for this game to begin with because I'm not a big online dude. I understand that Bethesda's always going to make a game with a single player component, but this one is completely online. They said that you can play it by yourself. However, is that going to be the full experience? Probably not. And although they showed gameplay for this, I really feel like I didn't see that much. I don't mean to be rude when I say this, but it kinda just looks like a mod for Fallout 4. However, what does separate this from Fallout 4 is the fact that they've been working on it for 4 years, so it's more than just a side project for them. It's set in West Virginia and it's 4 times bigger than the Fallout 4 map, which is nothing to scoff at. I doubt I'll be picking up Fallout 76 when it releases the 14th of November, but I expect that many people will. This is basically ESO Online, but for Fallout. And the way that Todd Howard was talking about it, he seems pretty damn passionate on it, so I'm still excited for them either way. Then there was a big chunk of time dedicated to Elder Scrolls Blades, a new Elder Scrolls mobile game. And for a mobile game, looks pretty damn good. Looks pretty fleshed out. There's 3 modes to the game: Abyss, which is basically a roguelike version, Arena, which is battle 1v1 PvP, and Town, which is where all of the story and the quests lie, and there's a town building aspect as well. For some reason, Bethesda is now in love with this town building stuff when everyone else isn't. I just hope they've improved upon it so it's actually fucking fun. Oh, and it's on fucking everything. Mobile devices, consoles, PC, VR units, and it's crossplay between all of them. You can jump from your PC to your mobile to your PS4 and play the same character, the same save file. And then, to close the damn conference, we got Starfield. Something that I was really excited to see, a brand new IP from Bethesda, the first time in over 2 decades that they've showed a new IP. But they didn't really show anything. I expected that they would show a tease. That's not the problem. But this was a tease for a tease. You showed the sun rising over the earth. What's interesting about that? You've given me no inkling about the game, as all that we know now is that it's a sci-fi game. And that's really not much to go off of. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure Starfield's going to be great, and I'm really wondering whether or not it's actually going to be on this generation of hardware. It might be on the next one. So I expect it'll play differently from Elder Scrolls and Fallout. It'll be a brand new experience all in its own right, and Todd Howard seems really passionate about it. So I'm expecting big things, and I think next year is when we'll get a full blowout of it. And then to close the conference, for some fucking weird reason, they bring out Elder Scrolls 6. They just announced a brand new massive IP that probably ain't coming out for some time. And Elder Scrolls 6 is not coming out for at least the next 4 to 5 years. I can guarantee you that. There is no way that Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be out on the PS4, Xbox One. It most definitely belongs on the next generation of hardware. And I don't even know if you can call this an announcement. I mean, everybody knows that they're working on Elder Scrolls 6, as all they did was have a pan over shot of a beautiful environment and put Elder Scrolls 6 on the screen. You've kind of just told us what we already knew. And this is why I had a problem with the conference as a whole. You just showed us what we already knew. Now granted, a lot of that is due to leak. I mean, Elder Scrolls 6, that wasn't leaked, but we knew you were working on it. Starfield, that was leaked. Rage 2, that was leaked. But I feel like you've got to show off some new stuff, Bethesda. You've got to show off some stuff that makes me say, wow, that looks damn good. It seems like now we're at this point where Bethesda feel like because they started doing press conferences that they've got to keep doing them. Bethesda clearly doesn't have major announcements to announce every year. I feel like they're really forcing it. The best thing for Bethesda to do would be to make a 15 to 45 minute conference. I know that's a big window, but it doesn't need any more than that. Last year's show, say what you want about it, it might have been predictable, but it was tight. It was well produced. And while this one was an actual conference, it was all over the place. And I know I sound negative about all of these games, but I'm still quite excited. I don't really care for Fallout 76, but Doom is massive. Rage 2, that looks awesome. Elder Scrolls 6, knew it was coming, but it's still exciting anyway. I just don't understand how they can announce Starfield and then Elder Scrolls 6 afterwards and everyone lose their fucking mind. We didn't see anything of the game. I was really excited for Cyberpunk 2077. But we didn't see anything of it, so there's no reason to go mad for it. Anyway, that kind of ends my Bethesda rant. I'm not really mad at it, it's just I don't understand why everyone's so hyped up all the time. But let me know, I could be completely wrong. If you've got a reason, tell me, I'm super interested to hear it. Also, anyone else think that Todd Howard is aging like a fine wine? That man is a fucking spice.